There's a question men almost never say out loud, but it lingers in the back of their minds, creeping into 3 a.m. Google searches and whispered conversations online. It's the kind of question wrapped in embarrassment, myths, and fear. What really happens to your prostate if you do it every day? You've probably seen the warnings before, claims that daily self-relief could inflame your prostate, damage it, or even raise your risk of cancer. Those scary headlines and locker room rumors hit hard because the prostate is a tiny gland with a massive reputation. It's connected to your health, your confidence, and even your identity as a man. And when fear mixes with mystery, the internet fills with half-truths and panic. But here's the thing most men don't realize: almost everything you've heard is wrong. Today, we're breaking the silence and cutting through the noise. We'll explore the science-backed truth about what daily masturbation actually does to your prostate. By the end, you'll not only know the answer, but it might completely flip your perspective on men's health. And here's a spoiler: the truth is nothing like the myths you've been told. Before we reveal the shocking science, we need to start with the star of this story, the tiny, overlooked gland that drives all this fear and fascination. Before we can separate myth from truth, we need to meet the little organ that's caused so much late-night anxiety, the prostate gland. It's easy to overlook because it's small, about the size of an almond or a walnut, but it has a massive role in your health. The prostate sits quietly below your bladder and just in front of your rectum. Most men never think about it until something goes wrong. So, what does this tiny powerhouse actually do? Its main job is to produce the fluid that mixes with sperm to create semen. This fluid doesn't just carry sperm, it nourishes and protects them, making the prostate a key player in male fertility and overall reproductive health. Here's the catch: because of its location and its role in the reproductive system, the prostate is extremely sensitive. As men get older, especially after 50, changes in this gland can lead to some of the most frustrating health problems. Waking up multiple times at night to pee, feeling like your bladder never fully empties, weak or interrupted urine flow, and the worry that these symptoms might be signs of something worse. It's this fear, combined with decades of whispered warnings, that fuels the myths about daily masturbation damaging your prostate. The truth is, this little gland has been blamed for things it doesn't deserve. But to understand why, we need to look at the stories we've all heard. The rumors. The so-called advice passed around in locker rooms, shady websites, and late-night forums. And that brings us to the next part of our journey, the dangerous myths that almost every man has heard, but very few have ever questioned. Every man has heard the whispers. They come from locker room jokes, old wives' tales, and the dark corners of the internet. If you do it too much, you'll wear your prostate out. Daily release leads to chronic inflammation. Frequent masturbation could even cause cancer. These claims sound terrifying because the stakes are real. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers among men. The idea that something as private and routine as masturbation could increase that risk creates instant panic. And fear spreads fast. A friend mentions it at the gym. A questionable blog repeats it. Suddenly, it feels like truth. The thought sits heavy in your mind: what if my habits are silently destroying my health? This is how myths survive, through a mix of shame, silence, and just enough pseudoscience to sound believable. For decades, these ideas went largely unchallenged, convincing men to live with unnecessary guilt and anxiety. But science has a way of cutting through the noise. And when researchers finally decided to investigate this taboo topic, the results didn't just challenge the myths, they crushed them. What scientists discovered will completely change the way you think about your prostate, and about daily habits most men keep secret. For years, men lived under the shadow of these myths, carrying quiet guilt and wondering if their private habits were slowly damaging their health. But eventually, science decided to stop guessing and start investigating. And when the research came, it didn't come from some obscure source, it came from one of the most trusted institutions in the world, Harvard University, specifically the T.H. Chan School of Public Health. This wasn't a small survey or a quick experiment. Scientists designed a massive, long-term study to finally answer the question once and for all. They followed nearly 32,000 men for almost 2 decades, carefully tracking their lifestyle habits, their overall health, and most importantly, their ejaculation frequency. Why ejaculation frequency? Because if the rumors were true, men who did it more often would show higher rates of prostate problems over time. If the myths were real, the data would expose them. But what the researchers discovered didn't just poke holes in the myth, it obliterated it. The numbers told a story no one expected. And when you hear it, your perspective on prostate health might change forever. When the results of the Harvard study came in, they didn't just whisper the truth, they shouted it. The data showed something almost no one expected. Men who ejaculated more frequently had a lower risk of developing prostate cancer. Yes, you heard that right. The very habit that men have been warned about for decades might actually protect the prostate instead of harm it. Here's the jaw-dropping number that grabbed the attention of scientists everywhere. Men who ejaculated 21 or more times per month had up to a 33% lower risk of prostate cancer compared to those who only did it 4 to 7 times per month. Think about that for a second. A habit many men feel guilty about, something the internet turned into a source of anxiety, was linked to better prostate health. This wasn't guesswork. This was hard data for nearly 32,000 men tracked over 18 years. And it was a finding strong enough to flip decades of fear on its head. But Harvard's study wasn't alone. When researchers in Australia conducted a similar investigation, they found almost the same thing. Frequent ejaculation seemed to have a protective effect. At this point, the question shifts from is it harmful to why on earth would it be protective? The answer lies in the hidden mechanics of your prostate, and when you hear the explanation, it makes perfect biological sense. So why would something as simple and natural as frequent ejaculation actually protect your prostate? Scientists have proposed 3 powerful theories, and when you hear them, they make perfect sense. Theory 1, the prostate flush. Think of the prostate like a network of tiny ducts and storage chambers. Over time, these ducts can collect old cells, secretions, and potentially harmful compounds. If these build up, they can irritate the gland or even contribute to dangerous cell changes. Regular ejaculation acts like a natural flush, clearing out these stagnant fluids and microscopic debris. By emptying the pipes often, you reduce the chance for harmful substances to linger long enough to cause trouble. Theory 2, healthier cell turnover. Your prostate cells, like all cells, are constantly dividing and replacing themselves. Each division carries a small risk of genetic errors that could lead to cancer. Frequent ejaculation seems to promote a more efficient renewal cycle, helping the gland replace old or damaged cells with new, healthy ones before errors can accumulate. Theory 3, stress and inflammation control. Chronic inflammation is a major factor in many cancers, including prostate cancer. Emotional stress also fuels inflammation in the body. Ejaculation, whether through sex or masturbation, is linked to stress relief and hormonal balance. Less stress means less inflammation, creating a healthier environment for the prostate. Individually, these effects are fascinating. Together, they paint a clear picture. Regular ejaculation is not a danger, it's a silent ally for your prostate health. But knowing this only answers half the story. Because while science shows this protective effect, millions of men still suffer from the frustrating symptoms of an irritated or enlarged prostate. And that's where our story takes a very personal turn. While the science is fascinating, for millions of men, the real struggle isn't just about long-term cancer risk, it's about daily life. If you're over 50, you might already know the symptoms all too well. Waking up 2, 3, even 5 times a night to urinate. That frustrating feeling like your bladder never fully empties. A weak or hesitant stream that leaves you standing there longer than you want. And the constant worry that these issues are only going to get worse. These symptoms don't just interrupt your sleep, they chip away at your confidence and quality of life. You start planning your day around bathroom breaks. You avoid long car trips. You even think twice before having a drink at night because you know what's coming. And here's the harsh reality. These problems can creep up long before you're ever diagnosed with anything serious. For many men, it feels like an unavoidable part of aging, something you just have to put up with. But here's the truth most guys never hear. You don't have to live like this. Because just as science has uncovered the surprising benefits of regular ejaculation, other breakthroughs are revealing simple, natural ways to support your prostate and restore your freedom. And one of these methods is so unusual and so effective that men who try it often can't believe how fast they notice a difference. Here's where things get really interesting. Because while science shows that frequent ejaculation can support your prostate, there's another simple nightly habit that some experts say can bring fast, life-changing relief from the most frustrating symptoms. It's often called the 15-second bedtime ritual. The idea is simple. Before going to sleep, you perform a brief routine that targets the root cause of those late-night bathroom trips, the irritated signals your bladder keeps sending to your brain. When your bladder calms down, two things happen. 1. You finally sleep through the night without constant interruptions. 2. Your prostate gets the breathing room it needs to start returning to a more comfortable size. Some men report that within just a few weeks, this ritual helps them wake up less often during the night, empty their bladder more completely, and feel like they're in control again instead of being controlled by their bathroom schedule. If you're curious, I've shared a detailed video presentation that explains exactly how this works, step by step. You'll find it linked in the description and pinned in the first comment under this video. But let's get back to the bigger picture of prostate health, because while this ritual is promising, there's more to understand. And that brings us to the critical reminder that every man needs to hear before he assumes one habit is a magic solution. By now, the story sounds almost too good to be true. Daily ejaculation appears to protect your prostate, and a simple 15-second ritual may ease frustrating symptoms. But before anyone thinks this is a magic bullet, we need to step back and look at the full picture. Here's the truth. The Harvard and Australian studies revealed a strong correlation, not a guaranteed cause and effect. In plain English, that means men who ejaculated more often tended to have lower prostate cancer risk. But that doesn't mean doing it every day automatically guarantees protection. Why? Because men who report higher ejaculation frequency often also have more active lifestyles, lower stress levels, better overall health habits. All of those factors can also lower cancer risk. So, while frequent ejaculation seems to be one powerful tool in your prostate health toolbox, it isn't the only tool you need. Think of it this way. If you want to protect your prostate, stay confident, and live a long, healthy life, your daily choices matter. And that means supporting your prostate from all angles, not just one. In the next section, we'll reveal simple lifestyle strategies that work hand in hand with what science has uncovered, so you can take full control of your prostate health and stop leaving it to chance. If you truly want to protect your prostate and keep it healthy for decades to come, you need more than one trick. Think of your daily habits as tools in a toolbox, each one adding a layer of protection and freedom. Here are the most powerful tools science has uncovered. 1. Eat a prostate-friendly diet. What you put on your plate every day matters. Load up on fruits and vegetables, which fight inflammation naturally. Include foods rich in lycopene, like tomatoes, watermelon, and pink grapefruit. Studies suggest they're especially protective for the prostate. Add green tea and omega-3 rich foods like salmon, mackerel, or flax seeds to support overall cellular health. 2. Move your body. Exercise isn't just for your waistline, it's a direct investment in your prostate. Aim for at least 30 minutes of moderate activity most days, like brisk walking or cycling. Regular exercise helps control weight, and obesity is linked to more aggressive prostate issues. 3. Drop the hidden enemies. Some lifestyle habits quietly raise your risk over time. Smoking damages blood flow and increases cancer risk. Excessive alcohol can trigger inflammation and hormonal imbalances. Cutting back or cutting these out entirely makes a huge difference. 4. Maintain healthy bedroom habits. Whether through sex or masturbation, regular ejaculation is now recognized as a natural support for prostate health. It flushes out stagnant fluids, reduces stress, and keeps your gland functioning at its best. When you combine these habits, your prostate has the best chance to stay healthy, strong, and problem-free long before serious issues ever develop. But there's one more step that can't be skipped, and it's the difference between guessing you're healthy and knowing you're protected. Even with the best diet, exercise routine, and healthy bedroom habits, nothing replaces early detection. The truth is, prostate issues can develop silently with few warning signs until the problem becomes harder to manage. That's why regular checkups are your strongest shield. Here's what that looks like. 1. PSA test, the simple blood test. The prostate-specific antigen, PSA, test measures a protein in your blood. Elevated levels can indicate inflammation, enlargement, or potential cancer risk. It's quick, easy, and gives you a baseline for your prostate health. 2. Digital rectal exam, DRE. Not the most comfortable test, but it allows doctors to feel for abnormalities. When combined with a PSA test, it provides far more accurate early detection. 3. Timing matters. Men over 40 with a family history, or over 50 without one, should start discussing screening with their doctor. Catching any issue early often means simpler treatments and far better outcomes. Pro tip: avoid intense exercise, cycling, or ejaculation 24 to 48 hours before a PSA test, because they can temporarily raise PSA levels and confuse results. Think of these checkups as your safety net. They don't just protect your prostate, they protect your future, giving you confidence and peace of mind that guesswork can never provide. And when you combine early detection with healthy daily habits, your chances of staying vibrant and symptom-free skyrocket. Now, let's bring this full circle and finally answer the question that started it all, the one men whisper but rarely discuss out loud. So let's return to the question that started it all, the one whispered in locker rooms, typed into late-night searches, and avoided in polite conversation. What happens to your prostate if you masturbate every day? The truth, backed by Harvard and other studies, is clear. Far from being the harmful, shameful habit that myths have made it out to be, regular ejaculation may actually help protect your prostate. It flushes out stagnant fluids that could irritate the gland. It supports healthy cell turnover and reduces the risk of harmful changes. It lowers stress and inflammation, creating an environment where your prostate can thrive. Daily masturbation is not a danger, it's a natural ally in maintaining long-term prostate health. Of course, it's not a cure-all. It works best as part of a bigger lifestyle plan, one that includes a clean diet, regular exercise, stress management, and consistent checkups. And when you combine these habits, you don't just protect your prostate, you take back control of your life, free from the fears and frustrations that hold too many men hostage. So the next time that old myth crosses your mind, you can smile and remember, science has your back. But before you click away, there's one more step to make this knowledge truly life-changing. Let's cut straight to it. The myth that daily masturbation damages your prostate, that it causes inflammation, wears the gland out, or raises cancer risk, is backwards. The research doesn't just challenge that old fear, it overturns it. Men who ejaculate more frequently aren't seeing worse prostate outcomes, they're seeing better ones. The truth is, regular ejaculation appears to be a protective factor. It helps flush stagnant material, supports healthier cell renewal, and eases stress-driven inflammation. Taken together, it's not a threat to your prostate, it's a quiet, natural ally. That's the full circle, The thing whispered about in shame and panic turns out to be part of the evidence-based strategy for long-term prostate health. It's still not a standalone cure. Real protection comes from combining this with smart diet choices, movement, quitting unhealthy habits, and routine screenings. But the shame and fear? Those can go. You now know what the science actually says. If this video shattered a myth you've believed for years or gave you the confidence to take control of your prostate health, don't let the conversation end here. Hit the like button so more men can find out the truth and protect themselves from needless fear. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We release new videos debunking men's health myths and sharing research-backed strategies to keep you strong, confident, and informed. Comment below. What's another men's health question you've always been too embarrassed to ask? Or a myth you've heard and want us to investigate next? Your comment might be the spark for our next deep dive video and could help thousands of other men searching for the same answers you were tonight. Stay informed, stay proactive, and as always, take care of yourself because your health is your greatest strength.